Keep living the adventure. Axis of Awesome.
Incoming transmission.
What is up, adventurers? Welcome to What's in the Shop, number 47, the live stream. This is an impromptu What's in the Shop tonight, so I don't know how many people are going to tune in or how many people even saw it. I have been extremely busy here lately, and I have missed a lot of opportunities to make videos, to give everybody updates on what's been going on at Skunkworks Studios, what's been going on with the Golden Skull, as well as a bunch of other things I've been wanting to talk about. So I figured I'd just pop on here tonight for as long as this is going to take. And if we get people on here to hang out, that's cool. If we don't, you can just catch the replay of the live stream. Either way, it's going to be good for me. Moondoggy's here tonight. Thanks for jumping in, bro. I appreciate it. But yeah, I was originally supposed to be on Paul Knapp's. Hey, Andy. I was originally, I have been elf manufacturing. Absolutely. I've been originally was supposed to go on Paul's show on Monday, but unfortunately, I had a scheduling conflict and I wasn't able to make that show. But I am going to be on, I think, Paul's show this coming Monday. And the reason being, I told him I wanted to pop in just real quick at the beginning of his show, and I wanted to show everybody the three giveaway items that I have made for the Curse of the Golden Skull contest, and I can't wait to share this with you guys. So this Monday, I will be, hey, Roberto Acevedo, what's up? I will be on Paul's show to show those off to you guys. I think you're really going to like what they are and what's going on, and I'll give you guys some further details Monday on Paul's show, and it should be really fun. Speaking of the great and powerful Paul Knapp, Paul is going to be on my live stream in October on the 23rd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I've been wanting to have Paul on for a while so we can all kind of delve into Paul and find out a little more about him, because he's always the guy who's asking the questions and wrangling up all those knuckleheads on his show. And I think Paul really needs to change seats and find out a little more about Paul. So here's his avatar from that live stream. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to get Paul on there and talk shop with him about all his various interests. If you guys have seen his show, then you know he collects a lot of different stuff. And he has a really incredibly incredibly popular show on Tuesday nights with the Toy Soldier Tuesdays. So it's going to be super awesome. So October 23rd, Paul Knapp is coming to the shop. Can't wait. Let's see what else. Like I said, I've been super busy. This is always a really busy time for me of the year. My son's birthday is in September, which then leads to my best friend. He lives in Denver, Colorado. My best friend from college. He flies back every year, and him and I went to the University of Illinois together. We both graduated in engineering together, and we've been going to a football game every year since 1998. And this year we're going to go to Illinois at Ohio State. Hopefully it's a good game, but regardless of whether they win or not, we go to a game every year and we have a good time. And so I've got to go get him at the airport on Friday, and then we're staying all weekend in Champaign. So that takes up some of my time. On top of that, I've been kind of prepping for Halloween. So that's a big deal here at Skunkworks as well. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but probably for the last 11 years, I have dressed up for trick-or-treaters as a character that I created probably about 12 years ago. I had some fabric I had gotten at Joann's on clearance of the remnants of a fabric that they had there. I thought it was really cool. I bought it, let it sit in my attic for about a year, and then I had my mom sew me an outfit. And this is the original outfit from the first year that I had it. It was a wizard outfit inspired by the guys from Workaholics. They had a album called Purple Magic. If you've never heard it, you should definitely get on YouTube and check it out. If you've never watched Workaholics, it used to be one of my favorite shows when I was a lot younger, before I matured a little bit. And I created this character called the Wizard of Candy. And as you can see here, every year I take a picture in my bar, McCooligan's Pub, with the Wizard of Candy outfit on. The purple fabric is what I bought. My mom sewed me a hat and a tunic to wear. And for probably the last 11 years, I've been dressing up as a Wizard of Candy. In fact, this character has become so popular that kids who have grown up now are bringing their little brothers and sisters, and even kids who are even grown and have kids, like kids that were in high school, recognize me as a Wizard of Candy, and they're bringing their kids every year. So it's kind of becoming a kind of a big deal on our street. Our house is a big attraction because we put out a lot of stuff, if you've seen my videos, and almost every year except for, I believe, 2020, I don't think we did the Wizard of Candy, because I'm not even going to go over why. You guys probably know. I'm going to get myself in any trouble. But I had to shave my beard off. In fact, if you look at, I would say this was from 2016, I think, or 17. That was probably my beard at its maximum. It's actually almost back to where it used to be. It's not as brown as it was, but I had to shave it off. This was 2021 maybe. But I've grown it back a lot. One year I actually wore a monster mask. It scared the kids too much, so my wife told me I couldn't wear those anymore. But last year, the Wizard of Candy made his triumphant return, almost to his full beard. So I've been prepping for Halloween as the Wizard of Candy. It's a super fun time. All the kids seem to love that, and it's really fun. We go through about $200 to $250 worth of candy every year. Dentists love me, and it's a really fun time. So I've been prepping for that, and also at the same time, I've been, if you guys have been following my Facebook page, I've been slowly reproducing. I was going to show those tonight. These vintage elf silhouettes from, I believe, the 1960s. My mom got them at an auction about a year ago, and I decided to duplicate them. So I've cut all these out and made a duplicate of them, and I've hand painted them. So this is the one I've gotten done. I've gotten there's 6 elves in total. I've gotten 3 or 4 done. I have 2 more left to go, and then there's a Santa Claus and a bag of presents. You can find these on my my Facebook page. So I've been working on that. And the reason I've been working on that is because in my hometown here, we have a lake, and there's a park at the lake. And like a lot of towns now, they have like a light setup so everybody can bring out and make up their own Christmas display. And then people drive through the park, and everybody's got their Christmas light displays. So I've decided when I got those, I was going to make my own Christmas light display. And I've created my own Skunkworks sign as well to put out there at the park. And hopefully it all goes well. Everything's going to plan so far. Of course, the having to grab my brother at the airport this week. My buddy coming in for the game is going to kind of make things a little tighter, and also trying to work in all the Golden Skull stuff. October is really going to be, I'm going to be slammed in October, but that's okay. I don't mind it. I'm used to being slammed with scheduling from my job, so shouldn't be a big deal. So that's what I've been doing basically. And of course, I've been trying to finish Search for the Golden Skull. Of course, you guys have seen excuse me, my contribution is going to be The Sorcerer of Atlantis, which drops October 31st at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So definitely check that out. We've had a lot of people dropping stuff. I do have a YouTube playlist dedicated to the people who've posted stuff to YouTube so far. I know Roberto is going to be, Robert from MacSog is going to be dropping his soon. Adam's going to be dropping his as well. We've had several others on there as well. You can check that playlist out if you go to my YouTube page. We've only had one photograph submitted to me personally. That was Mel's that I posted to my Facebook page. So check that out. It was a really good picture. The plan right now is to let all this play out. I know there's a lot of people still working on stuff, but I'm going to let it all play out. And after October, probably the first week of November, I'm going to do a special What's in the Shop, probably live stream. And you'll find the details out on that on Monday on Paul's show. But I'm going to do a special live stream, and we're going to kind of announce the winners of these contests. It's going to be great. I know there's some people from over across the pond over in the UK who are going to be entering. If you do win, I will make every effort I can to send your stuff to you. I know that there's some weird tariff stuff going on, but we will do our best to figure that out. So I'm not going to let any of that shit bother me. I surf big waves, so I try not to really get caught up in the details of all that stuff. So anyways, this is my, I should talk about this. So this is my, let me go ahead and, this is my mug I have for Halloween every year. So it's a Jim Rumpf Mind Circus mug. This is made by an artist from the 1970s, I believe, Jim Rumpf. He used to go around to Renaissance fairs. You used to be able to find a lot of his stuff, I think, at Hallmark stores. I have an Obi-Wan Kenobi mug of his that he made, and this is a very rare mug. You don't see a lot of these. I bought this several years ago. I found it on eBay, shockingly, and they sent it to me, and it didn't break. I also have a drinking horn as well. But yeah, this is one of my most prized possessions. I've had this for probably 10 years now, and I used to have a Halloween party every year in my bar, McCooligan's Pub, and I used to just, when I used to drink, I used to fill that up with some pretty heavy beers and have a great time. I shockingly never broke it. I ended up replacing it with this Shrunken Ed from Turkey Merc. I think I did a review of this on my channel if you're interested in checking it out. But Turkey Merc's great. He does a lot of really cool mugs. In fact, he sent like a whole slew of them to the Joe Rogan podcast, which I was shocked to see that he'd made it that big, which was really, really cool. So, but I have this one. I've had the Shrunken Ed for a while now. It's one of my favorite little sippers. You can put espresso in it and whatnot. But yeah, really cool. I just wanted to share that stuff with you. So what else has been going on tonight? So we're going to jump into What's in the Shop. I've also got something new I wanted to do tonight with you guys as we kind of work our way through that. But before we get going, let's jump in the chat and see who all we've got going on tonight. Moondoggy is here. I appreciate, like I said, you being here, bro. It's always great to have you here. I loved your YouTube submission for Golden Skull. It was really, really cool. The music and the ambience in the background is really neat. Of course, we've got Andy and Andy always here to provide his comedic humor to all of our live streams. And yes, Andy, I have been elf manufacturing. It is super interesting. For those of you guys, we'll get to that here in a second. So we've got the great and powerful Roberto Acevedo here as well. I'm going to try to share a few of Roberto's pictures tonight. So stick around and you'll be able to check those out. Of course, Cos Becerra, the super talented 3D printer, has been putting out some really cool reviews on YouTube lately. Cos, great job on those. I've enjoyed all of those as well. Lone Wolf joins us tonight. What's up, buddy? I appreciate you being here. I love all the stuff you're doing. Tim Cope here with the great the Tim Coates avatar. I always know it's you when I see the dwarf picture, and I love dwarves, man. They're freaking awesome. Not the Peter Dinklage dwarves. I'm talking about the actual real middle-aged dwarves. I have a really cool old book um, that my mom bought me when I was little on fairies, and there's a really good section in there on dwarves. I've read it to my son 2 or 3 times, and it's really interesting. But I did not know the lore about around dwarves until I read that. Um, so that's pretty cool. So, anyways, what was I going to talk about? Back to the elves. No. Oh, yeah. Back to the elves. So prior to me really, I would say switching my focus to a lot of GI Joe customs and whatnot, I used to do a lot of woodworking in my workshop. I still do woodworking, not as much as I used to do, but I'm gonna in the next probably few months, I'm gonna share with you guys some of the stuff I've made in my workshop as far as woodworking stuff is concerned. I used to make cornhole boards. I used to make games. I've made these things called Viking drinking tables. They're long tables that I've made one for a business here in town. I've made, I think, 6 or 7 of them in total. I think you guys are going to really find it cool. But I was going to do like a collection close up on some of that stuff I used to do prior to really getting into my GI Joe hobby. I used to just, it's funny. Like when I was a little younger, probably about, I would say 13 or 14 years ago, I had gotten divorced. It was in 2010. I had gotten divorced, and I really didn't, if anybody who's ever gotten divorced, you kind of are on an island for a while, and you're trying to figure out what you're going to do with yourself, and you're trying to kind of work your way through the dark forest a little bit, and you're trying to find ways to make up for the missing time that you would have had. So what I did was I drank with my buddies. I discovered a lot of microbreweries. I used to go around. That was about the time when like the microbrewery or craft beer sounds so douchey. I don't like to say that, but the microbrewing industry was starting to really pump. And I had my best friend lives in Colorado, so I would go out there. I would go to California, and all around here in Central Illinois and Indiana, there was so many amazing breweries. And I would go around to these breweries, and I thought, man, some of them I went to were just so cool, and I'd see really cool woodworking stuff in those areas that people had made. So I kind of started copying those in a way, and then I started doing my own thing. So I can't wait to share that kind of stuff with you guys as well. That was from a period of my life, which, I guess you call it a transitional period, but I really occupied my time by trying to be as creative as I could. And I think I did some really cool shit. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. So be on the lookout for that type of stuff here coming up as well. So that's kind of what's been going on here in the shop. Getting all that out of the way, I want to give a shout out to a few people. Let's see. Let me go ahead and pull some stuff up here. I'm slowly learning the ins and outs of this StreamYard. Now, I'm not saying I'm getting really good at it, but I want to call up some stuff here that I think you guys would like to see. Let's see. Okay, first off, Action Figure Playhouse. So a few shout outs. So this is a Facebook group. I think Rick Bradshaw and maybe a few other people run it. I know that Moondoggy's posted several pictures in there as well. It's a really cool group. They do have to. I gave Rick a hard time because I hate when people have to ask like questions like a litmus test to see how cool you are before you can join. I get why people do that. But anyways, it's a really cool page. You guys should check it out. If you're on Facebook and you do like to do action figure photography, this is a really cool page. I'm always amazed at the creativity of everybody on this page. I find myself looking through the pictures every day and just like, wow, these are really cool. And it inspires me to like do some of my photo stories in a little differently by seeing the way all these people are so creative on there. So definitely check out Action Figure Playhouse. I think it's wicked cool. Like I said, those guys on there are doing some really gnarly stuff, and I really appreciate their creativity. So check it out on Facebook. Sean Huckster, for you guys who are not following Sean's Facebook or YouTube page, Huckster Labs, you can see here, he's got 957 subs. Let's get him to 1,000. Sean has been doing some of the most amazing stuff with this Polly Pocket. I can't remember if he calls it the Little World. He calls it Little World or something. I can't remember. But his prototype for this Sydney Swift arcade compact, I've been watching him go through this whole design and development process, and it is so cool. You guys already know out there, if you're in the community here with us, the GI Joe 1/6L community, you already know how talented Sean is, right? I mean, I think we all know how talented Sean is, but seeing him just develop something like this, that's so cool. Like, this could actually be a toy that somebody would basically option, buy, and manufacture. Like, he could go on Shark Tank and probably sell a shitload of these. So definitely check out all Sean's videos. He does drop GI Joe videos on occasion. Recently, his briefcase one that Cotswold's going to carry is super dope. But I love Sean. Sean's a good friend of mine. He's done some really nice things for me. He's helped me out with a lot of stuff. And he was a brilliant guest on my live stream. If you haven't checked out Sean and I's live stream, it was really, really a lot of fun. So definitely check out Huckster Labs. Give him a follow if you haven't, and watch these videos, because the creativity and engineering behind them is just so dope. It's hard to wrap your head around a guy who's so creative like that. And then last but not least, if you guys didn't see the latest Cotswold Collectibles video with Jim Egner, who is, again, another amazing creator. He was on there with Greg, and Jim was showing off some of the new creations that they're going to have at Cotswold, namely this this blown up. Let's see. I think I actually have a picture of this. Let me pull it up here as I go through these images. Let's see. I think I have it here. Let's find it. I go through my files here. I got some cool stuff to share with you guys tonight, so let's be patient here. So this is the Major Matt Mason, is it the Space Sled, I believe? So Jim has made a 1/6 scale version of that, which is super dope. And I did see a guy on my Skunkworks page who might have been making Major Matt Mason spacesuits for GI Joe size figures, and I thought that was super dope. But this is amazing, guys. What an amazing piece of craftsmanship that Jim's come up with. I know these are available on his TK560 Etsy, but I think Cotswold is going to be carrying the fully assembled version of it. And these are super dope. But you guys haven't seen this video of Jim on there, it's great. These were two great guests. Unfortunately, I'm going to have Jim on again. We got you guys know the story about how Jim and I were on there, and Jim whips out a Stormtrooper pew pew, and our live stream got cut, and it was an epic live stream too. Like, we had a lot of fun, and Jim's awesome. Jim's a cool dude, and of course Greg and I had a great time as well. So I hope to have both those two guys back on here in 2026 and continue our awesome conversations on there. But definitely check out this live stream. And it was a live stream, it was a video. Definitely check out the video. It was really, really fun, and I enjoyed seeing those guys. Those guys had a really good time doing this. So yeah, there is a lot of cool stuff right now coming out, and just when you think there's some stagnation in the hobby, there's just a lot of really cool and creative stuff that has been going down in our hobby, and I'm really excited about it heading forth. I do want to ask a question for you guys out there, and I don't think anybody's jumped in who would know, but anybody who watches the live stream might know. Like, I did a review of this GI Joe fan club, the unofficial fan club, and it was from 2023. I did a review of it. I was, I don't know, I felt like I was looking back on it. I felt like I was a little harsh. Not, I don't know. I felt like I don't want to say unfair. I felt like I was harsh a little bit, and who knows. But I was really excited for this, but I'm not sure what happened to it. Um, it's interesting because I thought it was cool. I thought it was a really cool idea, and it just kind of disappeared. I got this in 2023. I did a review of it. GI Joe Lost Chronicles in the house, guys. Give Adam a shout out. I don't know what happened to it. It just disappeared. And I know the guy messaged me after I did my review, and he was a little, I wasn't upset, but he was a little like, I think he was a little irritated at my review. And when I went back and watched it again, I could see why he was. But I hope it comes back. I mean, I'm not sure what happened to it, but if anybody out there knows what happens to the unofficial fan club, let me know. I'm really hoping that these guys get it going, and we can get something like that moving down the train tracks. But anyways, I also want to give a shout out to my good bud Stacy, the Sig 20. Stacy, before he had his surgery, before he knew he needed his surgery, he was going to send me some stuff. But then, of course, you guys all know that he got hurt, and he had to get surgery, and it took him a while. And he messaged me one day and said, "Hey, I forgot to send all this stuff to you." And I'm like, "Hey, bro, don't worry about it." But he went ahead. I told him not to worry about it. He went ahead and sent it to me. So he sent me a crane for the ATV, and he sent me this cool head sculpt of myself. It does look like me a little bit. I like it a lot. So I'm going to put it on a body eventually and use it for something. So thank you, Stacy, out there. I love you, man. You're awesome. So I was going to talk about some stuff tonight. So I kind of want to go over some toy news. I know the last time I did a live stream, I was talking about some toy stuff coming up. I talked about the Hellboy figures, and but before I do that, well, I guess this will all go together. Want to start on the negative or the positive? I like to start on my opinion, the negative stuff, and then we can kind of sweeten it up with the positive. So let's go ahead and talk about some stuff that I recently discovered. Let me pull up the image here. And Boss Fight Studios. Now, I featured them on my last live stream. And I talked about the Hellboy figures, which are amazing, but they're like $60 a piece. And I just noticed Boss Fight just drops Conan figures. Now, look, I love Conan the Barbarian. Like, it's probably my all-time favorite sword and sorcery toy. Shouldn't say toy, probably toy, maybe, I don't know, next to He-Man, but my favorite sword and sorcery character obviously is Conan the Barbarian. I've told you guys a story about how when I was, a kid, my dad took me to see the Conan movie when it came out, not really knowing it was rated R, but it had an absolutely lasting effect on me, and it really made me love that character and that genre from here on out. I love the Beastmaster and all the other tacky movies they made in the 1980s. And but man, I got to tell you, everybody is doing a Conan figure now. We've got you've got Heroic Signatures doing their really cool Franzetta inspired figures. Mezco Toys has done a Conan. You've got, I think Savage Crucible has done a Conan style figure. Four Horsemen Studios has done a Barbarian figure that looks almost like Conan. And then you get Boss Fight Studios now doing their own Conan figure. And I'm like, man, I got a little Conan fatigue. Now, I know we don't need to buy all these figures, but it just kind of feels like with the toy industry right now, everybody just keeps jumping on bandwagons, and it's a really cool figure. And I've looked through these. This is the Conan and the Belit 2-pack. There's some other figures on there. If you guys have not seen these on Boss Fight Studios website, you can definitely check them out. Let's pull up some other images. This is another Conan, a Belit figure. Now, this is a Belit, which is more akin to the Queen of the Black Coast storyline, and this is more of a Conan from Conan the Cimmerian storyline. But they look like they're nice figures, but I think they're going to charge probably $70, which I think is a little too much for these figures. And I just think there's just too many Conan properties out there right now. And Boss Fight's also doing a Conan figure that is real similar in body sculpt to the Masters of the Universe Origins figures, which I did pre-order that figure, and it was like $40, which I thought was way too much money. I understand why these guys charge this much money, because you're paying for the IP and all the other stuff. But man, I think this figure is okay looking, but it's not nearly as cool as the Heroic Signatures, Franzetta Girls, and those type of figures. I don't know if you guys agree with me out there or not. If you're not familiar with those figures, then definitely go out and take a look at them and see. But my gosh, there's so many Conan properties right now. It's almost like G.I. Joe, and I forgot when Super 7 has a Conan property as well, with their Ultimates line. Here's another one, Conan the Barbarian style figure. Super cool, but I just know Boss Fight's probably going to charge an arm and a leg for these. Now, that being said, the Heroic Signature figures are upwards of $100. So I can't wait to see what I am not going to get these, but I can't wait to see who gets them and watch their reviews of these figures when they get them. This is a cool figure, I think, but like I said, I thought the Hellboy figures were really cool as well, but I just think the price of these is becoming a little outrageous in my opinion. But maybe I'm wrong. That could be. I would be willing to admit I'm wrong. Chuck Chiriaco and I have been talking a lot on Instagram messaging about just the price of everything. He went to, I think, Joe Lana, and just the price of everything is starting to become a little I don't know, a little ridiculous in my opinion. But I think it's a great looking figure. I just don't really know. Here's one of the Belit figures. I'm sure it's similar to the Red Sonja figure I reviewed, which I think was an okay figure. I think it was around 50. So these are probably going to be more than that, But I don't know. I just think that there's a little bit of Conan. Conan is like really popular right now. So that's what I was going to kind of talk about with that as well. So I did order a new Conan figure. Like, I have both of the Mezco figures, and I wish I would have waited. I wish I would have waited on those, because if I would have known that Heroic Signatures and the Franzetta Girls were coming out with those figures that they were coming out with, I would have much rather had those than the Mezco figures, because A, they're taller, they scale better with other figures, and they're cheaper. But I still have the Conan figures from Mezco, and I'm going to keep them. But anyways, I actually ended up ordering the latest release from Heroic Signatures, and that is the Battle of Blackstone Conan the Barbarian. So if you guys aren't familiar, Titan Comics has the license for Conan the Barbarian. Robert E. Howard has been really doing an amazing job of getting people to produce their comics and whatnot. I'm trying to find a picture here to share with you guys. But, there was a time when I read Dark Horse Comics a lot. Full disclosure, I'm a huge Dark Horse Comics fan. And Um, I think the Dark Horse Comics Conan adaptations were the best of. But I will tell you this: the Titan Comics, I think it's a UK based company, is doing a fantastic job. Now, I'm not getting the everyday Conan comic. I am getting the special releases, like this Battle of Blackstone was a really good miniseries. So they did a figure of this character, the Conan from this, based on the Robert De La Torre, he's like a very similar artist. I think John Buscema, who drew Conan back in the 70s and 80s. I think it's the correct name. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, but I could be wrong. But Robert De La Torre does an amazing job. I'm also getting Savage Sword of Conan, which is a probably bi-monthly magazine from Titan, which is fantastic. It's one of the best things I'm reading right now. And they just released this Scourge of the Serpent, which is their next crossover. It has King Cole in it. And of course, one of the picks, I can't remember what his name is. It's not, I can't remember what his name is. It's not, I can't remember. Anyways, so these crossover comics, these Scourge of the Serpent and this Battle of Blackstone feature all of the characters from Robert E. Howard's various stories. So Solomon Kane, as well King Cole here, as well as several other characters from the Robert E. Howard catalog of stories that he would do for like Weird Tales and everything else back in the 1920s and 30s, I think. I hope I'm getting the dates right. I'm sure there's some nerd out there who's going to fucking correct me. I love being corrected by nerds. It's always great. Yeah, I'm a nerd, so I'm not shitting on nerds. But anyways, I think it's cool right now. Conan's so popular. Like, you have all these toy lines, you have these comic books, you have these statues. It's super awesome. I'm just worried that the market's going to get saturated with Conan toys. And that seems to be the case right now. You know, Chuck and I we were talking about just the price of everything. And like, you know, Hasbro is going to be moving the price of their classified series up to $27.99. And I think it's ridiculous. I know there's going to be people that disagree with me on that. And the only reason I think that's ridiculous is the fact that the G.I. Joe IP is Hasbro's. So they own the IP, right? So they don't have to pay licensing to anybody. And I could see Marvel Legends being $27.99 or $31.99 because you got to pay Disney, the scumbags at Disney. You got to pay them for the Marvel license and then all the other bullshit. Whatever. We could argue about tariffs all we want, but Bobby Valla from Valaverse, which is also another controversial toy company if you're a classified collector, he's lowered his prices down a little bit. So in my personal opinion, I think $30 is probably the tops for any one of these action figures right now. And I think asking anybody to pay more than that is silly, but I get it. If you want to pay that much money, that's fine. It's a free market and you can do what you want. So yeah, there's that. So I don't know. I'm just worried that there's going to be a saturation, is all I'm trying to say, of the Conan properties, but whatever. I'm usually wrong about a lot of stuff, so who cares? Another thing that I wanted to share with you guys, which is pretty exciting. Let me pull it in here. And see if you guys are as excited about this as I am. I'm a big comic book collector. I don't read a lot. Conan's the only thing I read nowadays, but I just saw this the other day that Dynamite is going to be doing a Thundar the Barbarian comic. This is the first one they've done, and I'm really, really excited about this. Thundar the Barbarian, it's one of my favorite cartoons as a kid. I love it. The only thing that bothers me on this is the writer. Aaron Ball, he's written for Marvel for a long time. He was one of the writers on Marvel's Conan comic series, which I thought was pretty garbage. It was kind of a woke Conan in a way, in my opinion. So I'm kind of worried. I hope it's going to be good. But I think the most exciting thing about this comic to me is it could lead to Thundar the Barbarian figures. Now, I have the Plain Manus, Thundar, and Ukla. I don't have Ariel, but I would love to see Thundar the Barbarian done by maybe Boss Fight in like a Masters of the Universe Origins style figure. That would be great to go with my He-Man figures, and I would love that. I love Thundar the Barbarian. It's one of the best cartoons. I would love to see a new cartoon of that, preferably not by Netflix, because we we do not need Netflix doing any cartoons of my favorite childhood stuff, because they will f it up 100%. Make no mistake. They'll have some goofball that'll say, "Hey, this sounds like a great idea." They need me in there to go, "This is a terrible idea." Almost like during a football game, when you're watching a football game and your favorite team's getting ready to go for it on fourth down, you know they ought to kick the field goal and take the points, and you're like, "This is a terrible idea." They need you on the sideline going, "This is not going to be well. It's not going to end well for you." But that's what they need. Dynamite needs me there to say, "Let's make this super dope, cool, just like the cartoon of the 1980s, and leave it at that." So I'm going to get it. I'm going to pre-order it, and hopefully it turns out to be what I hope it's going to be. But Thundar the Barbarian is coming, so be on the lookout for that if you guys are big Thundar the Barbarian fans like me. So that's, I should say it was a Debbie Downer, the stuff I was going over about Conan. I just worry about certain things, too many properties going out there. But you guys know that I am a huge Shogun Warrior fan. And I've gotten the first two releases for my son of the Bandai Spirits Jumbo Machinder Super Robots, and that was Mazinger Z and Great Mazinger. This is an image from maybe, I think, last year. So the older gentleman in the picture is the lead toy designer for Bandai, I believe. And the kid, I think he's one of their social media people. If you follow them on YouTube, which I do, Bandai Toys, it's fun. It's all in Japanese, I think. And but it's fun. I watch it with subtitles. But anyways, you can see the first two robots they released here. You've got Mazinger Z on the far right, and then you've got Great Mazinger. And then the next release is Super Robot Mach Baron, which we do have on pre-order. And then the next release is the one here, which is Brave Raydeen. And I am super excited about this figure. Let's pull a picture of this guy up. This is one of the coolest figures. I got a good picture of him here. Pull it up here. Be patient. Here he is. This is Brave Raydeen. This is an awesome looking Jumbo Machinder. Bandai has recreated that original Raydeen, which is an iconic look. If you guys aren't familiar with Brave Raydeen, he's one of the coolest robots from the 1970s. And they've taken that original Shogun Warrior look, and they have managed, shockingly, to improve on it. They've added some, like what they did with the other two robots, Mazinger Z and Great Mazinger. They added some different elements to it that weren't on the original robot. You can see here the Godbreaker shield has a retractable sword that comes out of the shield, which is really cool, which is reminiscent of that figure in the cartoons. That is called the Godbreaker, and that thing extends out fairly far to vanquish enemy robots that Brave Raydeen fights. So that is a really cool element to add to it. I'm not sure how it retracts, but the cool thing is they added his bow fist. So Brave Raydeen has a bow fist. The original 1970s Japanese version came with a bow fist, not one that fires like this one. This comes with an arrow projectile that fires out of it. The original figure's bow fist was just a prop bow fist. The American version had Mazinger Z's Iron Cutter fist, which fired on it as a gimmick for the US market. But Bandai has added this brand new bow fist. You can see the bows flex out to fire the arrow. So I'm assuming that you cock the bows down and then press a button and then they blast up to fire the arrow out like in the picture. I'm assuming that's how that goes. I can't wait to see that. That is a really cool add-on for this figure. Let's see what else that they came up with. I'm really excited about the bow fist. So the projectile that fires out his Delta Wing firing missile that comes out of his chest, and the original was just a really basic yellow colored Delta Wing. This one looks like to be a more detailed, comic accurate version of it, and I'm assuming that it fires out of the chest as well. So that is going to be a really cool thing to see when it comes out. And then, of course, he does come with a set of dual missile fists, which I think are going to be super cool as well. Now, these are the same ones that came with Mazinger Z and Mach Baron. Great Mazinger came with his own missile fists that are different, which are more akin to the ones that Great Mazinger had in the 1970s. But like I said, this looks a lot like the one from the 1970s. It has the flip-up shoulder pauldrons. Everything looks just like the original Bravery Dean with some really cool added features that I'm really excited about getting. So it's already up for pre-order now. Now, shockingly enough, this thing is only $250. So I want you guys to think about that. So you're paying for some of these small scale action figures that are super detailed. You're paying like $80, $90, and even $100. You're getting this massive 2 foot tall plus robot with all these different play features for a kid for $250. Now, the original Mazinger Z, when it came out a couple of years ago, was I think $150. So I think it's a better value, and these things hold their value as well. And my son, my 7-year-old son, loves these. The cool thing about these guys, I thought the next one was going to be UFO Robot Grendizer, which you can see is on the far left. They are making that figure. But the thing I'm really interested in is that giant ship there is the Spacer. So that UFO Grendizer figure has a feature on his neck, which allows you to tilt his neck up, and he slides in this Spacer, and kids can ride on it like a toy. These go for anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 on Syndico auctions because I've watched a few of these. If Bandai ends up making a reproduction one of these, you can bet your sweet ass we'll get one of these babies and do some videos of it. I mean, it'll be significantly cheaper than a vintage one. I'm sure if Bandai would remake that, at least a version of it, it would be probably less than $500 if I had to guess. I could be wrong again, but I would have to guess it's going to be. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do. The next one, obviously, after Bravery Dean is going to be UFO Robot Grendizer. They've already announced that. But then after that, I'd like to see him do the secret weapon accessory sets. But who knows? That's all down the road. I think Derek from Shogun Plastics actually, you guys follow Derek. He had a picture, if I can find it. I don't know if I still have it. Oh, here we go. This is one from one of the solicitations for this Bravery Dean. So Bravery Dean has a few ships that were made for his jumbo Machinder as well. You can see the yellow arrow. So it'll be interesting to see once Bandai is done producing these jumbos, if they're going to make a bunch of these different accessory sets. If they are, I might have to get a second job. But we'll see what happens, man. I love these robots. The one I just did a review of, the AB Style Studios UFO Robot Grendizer, that thing's freaking dope. The only Debbie Downer about it, and I think I mentioned that in the review of it, was the missile fists. You know, they're too heavy. They don't fire great. But That's because the new material is so heavy. That figure is more like the Mattel uh, Skeletor Shogun Warrior, which is it's a really cool looking figure, but it's also kind of ass. But I've seen a lot of those for sale. Like people are selling those off so they can buy some of these Bandai ones. But yeah, it is what it is, man. I think they're really cool. I love those figures, and I can't wait to see what Bandai does with those. It's great. Now, something else that's coming out here lately, they've been releasing production images, or I guess Paint Master images, I think. You guys are all familiar with Ramen Toys. If you're not, definitely check them out. But they're doing some of the Science Team Ninja Gotcha Man. This is the Arrow, I think, and it is really cool. It comes with I think they're about the same size as the Mask figures. Are they one? Let's see, are they 1/24th? See, GI Joe O-rings are 1/18th, and they're smaller than that, so they're like 1/20th or 1/24 scale. So they're small, like O-ring style figures, similar to the ones that you'd see with the Mask figures. I think they're also doing Mask reproduction stuff as well. So I think this is a really cool ship. Now, I didn't pre-order this at all. I like it a lot, but I don't like it enough to pay $150 for it. But I think the stuff that Ramen Toys is doing is really, really cool. And I think this is a dope looking ship. So maybe someday I'll get one of these on an aftermarket. But I really like the way this thing looks. He said, the guy for Ramen said that they're going to do all the different vehicles that kind of attach to the God Phoenix. So if they do, that's super cool. I would like to see a really nice God Phoenix from them, but that would be huge, right? If you did a 120, the God Phoenix is giant. Like, just tell you guys how big a God Phoenix is. So you take a Shogun Warrior, and you like they're 24 inches tall, which I think Mazinger Z is around, I think 80 feet tall, maybe. I think 18 meters. Is that right? I can't remember. Not 18 meters. We watched a robot size comparison on YouTube with my son, but I think he's around 80 to 100 feet tall. The God Phoenix is about the size of a Shogun Warrior. Like, if you did like a size comparison, I think. So to make a scale God Phoenix would be freaking huge. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but I think they're really cool what they're making. Ramen Toys is really great. If you guys are fans of Brave Star, they're making a Brave Star figure. It's called the Marshall because they can't really use Mattel's licensing. It's so wild with Ramen Toys. They're making all these. They're making all these U.S. toys. They're doing a Masters of the Universe style figure too, and they're making them in China and just telling the toy manufacturers to fuck off. It's kind of funny. I can't remember what the guy's name for Ramen is, but he's really cool. I'd love to see him do some Adventure Team stuff. How about we send Ramen a message and say, why don't you do some 1/12 Adventure Team style figures? They've done like Centurions, which is a really short-lived but cool toy line. They've done Centurions figures, Brave Star. They're doing the Gotcha Man stuff. They made like a sewer layer for like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the A-Team style van, which Ochre Studios, if you've been following Vern has a lot of really good videos with all those A-Team vans and stuff. Vern has been going absolutely crazy on the AI animation stuff, which is really, really cool. So he's having a really good time with it, as a lot of the guys on social media are. So those are some of the cool things in the news that I've been looking at. I'm really excited for a lot of that stuff coming out here. But more, I'm really excited about the Brave Radine stuff. It's going to be really, really cool. Let's share here. I wanted to share something with you guys. Let me pull it up here. So back, while back, a good buddy, Roberto Acevedo out there in California. Shout out to you out there in California. You and Vern both out there in Cali, living the dream. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Hold on here. Let's see here. Give me a minute. All right, here we go. So Roberto reached out to me and asked me if I would make him a few of my intruder heads. So I think I sent him 2 or 3 of these, and he had the intentions of taking one of those incredible Hulk bodies from the Titan collection of Marvel, Hasbro's Marvel figures, and he made brand new intruders with those heads on those Hulk bodies. He painted them, he hand painted everything, and they look absolutely amazing. He upscaled the intruders to make them look like actual villains. I think he sent me some scale pictures. Let me pop another one in here so you guys can check it out. He did a good job with these. Let's pull another one up here. I'll get you a couple so you guys can kind of see a scale comparison. I meant to load these prior to this live stream, but StreamYard will only let me load a certain amount of pictures because everybody has just the dumbest goddamn rules. Freaking ridiculous. But anyways, let's pull these up and you guys can check them out. So here is Roberto's really cool figures that he's made. Super awesome. I think those are great. Good job, Roberto. They look awesome. He's made a when he told me what he was going to do with them, I'm like, yeah, you could absolutely do that, man. Those are super cool looking. Here's a couple more. They scale really well. I mean, they're about the same height as a G.I. Joe now, as opposed to being around 8 inches tall, which I think was what the original 8 or 10 inches tall is what the originals were. So I really love the way Roberto did this, and what a brilliant idea to take those heads I sent him and create your own brand new intruders. So shout out to Roberto Acevedo out there in California. Roberto and I are big time Shogun Warrior fans, and if you guys aren't familiar with Roberto, he is actually a wrestling promoter, and he used to be a wrestler, and I think he has a wrestling ring in his backyard because I think he trains people as well, if I'm correct, Roberto. So really interesting guy and a great customizer. My goal with a lot of this stuff I've on these live streams is to start sharing customs people have sent me. I know Pat from Lead Action Joe does a really good job of sharing stuff people have sent him. So I'm going to try to do something similar for you guys. So moving forward, I think we've worked our way through most of the original stuff, initial stuff I wanted to talk about. And we're going to get to these last few things as we get close to wrapping this up. So one of the last things I want to talk about is Hot Wheels. For Ernie out there in California as well, Hot Wheels has just came out with a brand new track design. I'm getting ready to do a review of this. We've actually tested this out in a video. I'm hit or miss with this. I'm on the fence. Like I said, I'm going to do a review of it here soon. But this is a brand new track design from Hot Wheels. So if you guys have kids like me, and most of you guys out there have grandkids, let me know what you think about this new track design. It's fairly cheap. I mean, I think we paid $11 for this set here, and Meyer, and I can't wait to do a review of it because I've got some. I like it, but I don't like it. So we'll definitely be on the lookout for this as well here in the future. We're also going to do a review of a couple aftermarket items made by manufacturers. One's a Trackpede and the other's a Track Stack. I'm going to do a review and like a versus which one I like better. And I think it's going to be a really good one from like an engineering standpoint. I think it's going to be great. So second to last I know I've said this a million times and I've lied every time I've said it, but I got a Syndic order in. And I didn't want to get a Syndic order, but I had to. And we're going to go ahead and unbox this tonight as part of our live stream. So this came in the other day. And shout out to my buddy at work, Ernie. He sharpened my knife for me the other day because it was really dull. So it's nice and sharp. So I hope I don't cut myself live on camera like I have a Mark Sanchez. I love that story. That's a crazy ass story. Let's pop this thing open. And see what we've got in here. Because we have some really cool stuff. So let's set her down here. So, first things first, I've wanted one of these for a while now. They put it in the package backwards, but we'll go ahead and make it right. I'll keep it in the package because I'm going to do a review of it at some point in time here in the near future. And I know this is going to be a cool thing for you guys out there who are fans of this character like I am. Let me get this fixed in the box here. I didn't plan on this thing being upside down in the package, but whatever. So I've wanted one of these for a long time. This is made by a company called Figma. And I've actually wanted a Figma Guyver figure. But more importantly, I've wanted this Figma Golgo 13 figure. It's a 1/12 action figure. I apologize for the reflection in the camera. But these go for around probably like $100 and some. I got this used for $30 on Syndico. I'm really excited to do a review of this. This is going to look cool on my Pantheon of Heroes desk at work. It's one of those things where I didn't want it. I was laying in bed one night, trying not to look at the fucking train wreck that is the world right now. And I saw this, and in a weak moment, I decided to get it because it made me feel better. And that's why I bought it. So I got this cool Figma Golgo 13 1/12 figure. I love Golgo 13. You guys have seen my G.I. Joe scale version of it. That was made by Hasbro for Skynet back in the early 90s. And speaking of, let's grab this here. If you guys have ever done a Syndical order, it is a wild boxing. So speaking of Golgo 13, as I was looking one night for Golgo 13, I found for $6 a loose out of package Golgo 13 figure. So I paid $6 for this guy. I'm going to put him on a super articulated body, and he's going to become one of my photo. I've actually got an outfit prepared for him. I'm going to do a video on how to put his head on a super articulated Joe body and customize this guy. So really, really cool. That's what I'm going to do. And I have been making the heads. I sculpted the head and I sold one to a guy on eBay, and he left a really good review. So it's great. So I don't care the depth of his clothes. I'm going to use this for a custom. So I got this guy as well. Now, the next thing that I got, let's see, that goes to my Golgo 13 apparently. Let's see here. Oh, so what kicked off this buying spree was something that I've been looking for a long time. Now, I'm probably going to get this wrong. So you nerds out there who, if you, sometimes people like to correct me, especially the Robotech community, because they all are psychopaths. So when I was looking at Science Team Ninja Gotcha Man figures, I came across a line of figures called the Tatsunoko Fight Club. It was Tatsunoko Fight. So I think it's based on a video game in Japan, and it's based on all the characters that Tatsunoko made in the 1960s and 70s. One of those being Science Team Ninja Gotcha Man, the other being Kashan, as well as a few of the others. So they made these series of die-cast metal figures called Tatsunoko Fight Heroes, I believe. I'm probably getting the name wrong. But they had a Japanese Comic Con exclusive. They're die-cast metal of my favorite member of the G-Force or Science Team Ninja Gotcha Man, and that is Mark the Condor. So this is a Comic Con Japan exclusive. It's used out of box. These are super rare. Like, I found them, they're like $200 or $300 in the box. If they're loose with the box, they're like at least $200. I got this thing for $30. When I saw it, I bought it. I'm like, I'm gonna buy this thing. And this thing is freaking dope. Just looking at it right now, it's dope. I'm not gonna do a review of it because I don't have the box or anything, but I love Mark the Condor. And when I bought this, I was like, ah, shit, I got to buy some more stuff to make my shipping worth it. So these are battery powered. They light up. There's a little screw in the back, and his chest lights up. So I cannot wait to put this guy in my Pantheon of Heroes. So that's exactly why I bought this Cynical Order. This is a just looking at it sight unseen right now, an absolutely beautiful figure. My favorite member of G-Force since I was a kid, Mark the Condor. Super great. So that's why I did a Cynical Order. So I'm really excited that this thing looks awesome. This is a really cool figure. This is like I said, all die-cast metal. And if you've ever seen Infinity Force, the cartoon, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's really cool. It used to be on Amazon. My son liked it a lot. But he is a character in that. All the Tatsunoko characters are in it. Tekimon. See, I'm sorry, this is Joe the Condor. Jason or Joe the Condor. I screwed that up, guys. Sorry, nerds. It's Mark is the guy that Casey Kasem did the voice of. This is Joe the Condor. Sorry. But it has all the figures. Infinity Force has all the characters from Tatsunoko Fight. So it's got Tekimon, Mark, I think the Eagle from Gotcha Man. It's got Kashan, as well as a bunch of other guys. So I'm really excited about this figure, man. This is fucking dope. Oh my gosh. I've wanted this for a long time, and I'm just like, I'm not going to pay that much money for something like this. But I got it for such a dumb price used that I bought it instantly. It was like, I was laying in bed one night having an existential crisis, and I decided to buy it. So I'm super happy about that. So awesome. So anyways, as I was working my way through all that, trying to figure out what else I needed to buy to make my order worthwhile, you saw I ended up buying the Thigma Go-Go 13. Then I found the loose Go-Go 13 after that. After I bought that. So then I kind of wanted to look at some other stuff. So I started kind of just goofing around looking for things. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So I used to collect the Sideshow Toys figures. And I found this for $20. This is the Sideshow Collectibles Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker, which is one of my favorite Lukes. It is a Jedi Luke, and Return of the Jedi was one of my favorite movies as a kid. So I'll probably do a review of this guy. I have the Sideshow Obi-Wan course, Hot Toys makes way cooler figures than this now, but I'm not paying all that money. I love this. I think Mark Hamill's a complete nut job, but I try not to let Mark Hamill being a complete nut job affect my love of the character Luke Skywalker. That is a very difficult thing to do. And that is very difficult. Trust me, it's one of the few things I struggle with really in life is trying to separate the person from the character. And it's difficult sometimes because I'm human. But I love this figure. It's going to go on my desk at work next to my Obi-Wan and my Darth Vader, the Metacom one I just did. And I can't wait to get this guy out of the box and look at him. He's used. I got him for, I think, $20. So super happy about that as well. So not to be a selfish ass, all this stuff that I bought did not total up to the one thing I bought for my son. So my son has wanted one of these for a while, but I have struggled to find a good one. Now in Japan, and especially in Cynical Auctions, they have a lot of old stock items, which are mint in package from the 70s that are just sitting in a warehouse somewhere. And I've bought most of the secret weapon attachments for the Shogun Warriors. I'm missing a couple, but I got him a mint in package iron cutter set. So it comes with the two fists that Mazinger Z has that launch. This is mint in package, never opened. Still got the tape on it. I'll probably do a review of this for the YouTube channel, but this is really cool. I paid like $102 for this, so I thought it was worth it. These things fire really well. They're made really well. Everything on the back, you can see here. I don't have this one right here. I don't have that, and I don't have that. So those are the ones I'm still looking for. I'll eventually find them, but I'm going to give this to him for Christmas. So he only has like a couple of these. Like the ones I've reviewed on the YouTube channel so far, he has. But I have like 5 more. This will be like another one that he doesn't have. He doesn't even know about. So I'll probably box them up. Oh, I don't have this one either. The drill missile. I'd love to have that, and that's expensive. So I'll probably give these to him for Christmas. But we'll see. So that was the most expensive item of all this stuff. So this was more expensive than all the other shit combined that I bought. So I did do something nice for my son because I love him to death, and it's all about him and not me. So, and then last but not least, this is gonna blow some of you guys' minds probably. I know I've been posting a lot of the Combat Joe stuff that I've bought. The German soldier is really cool. I hope nobody took the Nazi thing the wrong way, but sometimes with stuff nowadays, there's so many jackasses out there, you got to kind of give some disclaimers. So they made other figures besides the German stormtrooper, the German officer, the GI, and the American figure. They made others, and they made a SWAT figure. And I'll do a review of him. He's in the box here. So we'll pull him out real quick and look at him. So this is a Combat Joe LAPD SWAT figure, which is hilarious, considering everybody's boycotting police now. It's an LAPD figure. It's fucking hilarious. Probably get my show canceled for... This is mint in box, by the way. It's never been opened. It's still, everything's still in the plastic. So yeah, this is really cool. It's blue. He has a Los Angeles. If you can see it right here. Let me see. I'll just pull it out. You got LAPD patches that go on him. It's really cool. It's a really cool figure. It comes with an AR or an M16, just a real basic, I think, M16 in there. So I got that guy, mitten box, which is really cool for a good price. I think it was like $30 maybe. I think so. I can't remember what I got him for. But the coolest figure that I got, so you guys who are in my age group, which is 50 plus, hope you guys are taking your Centrum 50 plus vitamins. The coolest thing was when I was a kid, one of my favorite, God damn, they pack these things well. One of my favorite things to watch on TV was Chips. I got Takara. Let me pull this thing out here. God, I don't even pack shit this well. Japanese, man. They don't half-ass anything. Except for nuclear power plants. Just kidding. Hope that I take offense to that. They had a California Highway Patrol Chips figure. Let's pull this guy out, take a look at him as well. This is super cool. I love that California Motorcycle Highway Patrol. He comes with a revolver. It's really cool. We'll do a review of him as well. This is super cool. I saw this guy. He has a gold helmet and everything. When I saw him, he wasn't that much money. I bought him. Mitten package. A little dirty, but none of the accessories have been taken out of the plastic. And I saw it, and I remembered back in the 90s when you go to KB Toy Store and they had all the 1/6 scale motorcycles. Like they had the 1/6 scale Harley Davidson World War II motorcycle, and they would have the California Highway Patrol cycle. I wish I would have bought one of those now, because this figure is really, really cool. He would look cool with a really cool Highway Patrol motorcycle. So I'm going to try to find something for him. I think it's a really awesome figure. I love the Combat Joe line for some reason. They do have some others that I do not have, I think. Maybe that's all of them right now. I do have a German tank commander I'm getting ready to do a review of too, but I think you guys saw that on a previous live stream. But I think Andy, I think Andy asked, do I have all 6 types of figures now? I might, Andy. There's a Takara Combat Joe page. I need to get on there and check it out. But I might have all of them now. I think I have all the accessory sets, but yeah, this is super cool. This is a really cool find. But this is, again, this is me being a psychopath, spending, time in bed on my phone while my wife reads a book, looking at stuff I don't need. But I'd rather do that than read the news. So, and I'm a huge football fan too, and my team is not bad, but also not great, and yeah, so that's what I do. I just lay in bed and look at that stuff. So that was the cool unboxing. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was super fun. I'm just super stoked about the dopeness of this guy right here, man. This is Joe the Condor, looking absolutely beautiful. Now they have other figures, right? So they have Mark, they have Tekkamon, they have Kashen, and I can't remember the other guy that they have. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Yeah, I don't remember. He's a guy who's like has like super speed. Um, I can't remember, but I did buy my son the Tekimon diecast figure for Christmas because he loves that figure. He thinks it's really cool looking. I had those Bandai Infinity Force figures I did a review of during Japanese July. He saw that Tekimon figure and he's like, "Dad, can I have that figure?" I'm like, "Actually, no, because there's an even better figure out there that you can have." So I told him that maybe Santa Claus would bring him that figure, and I already bought it for him because he really liked that figure. So hopefully he's not listening. Wouldn't that be a terrible thing? He's like, "Oh, I know what I'm getting for Christmas now." So, anyways, so to wrap up this live stream, I was sitting at my desk at work the other day on my break, and I'm like, man, I had such a good time with Ed from Action Figures a couple weeks ago, doing our G.I. Joe Classified live stream. That was really fun. I really enjoyed it. We got like 170 views, which is kind of a bummer. I was hoping we'd get more, but I get it. My channel's not super popular like a lot of other people's, and the algorithm's full of douchiness. But I really enjoyed that live stream with Ed, and I kind of just wanted to, kind of parlay that into something new, because I did the interview a Thursday night with a friend with Punk with Toys, which was really fun. You guys got to learn. If you've not watched that one, you should. You get to learn a lot about me as a person. I don't tell a lot of people about me. You hear bits and pieces about me, but I have a lot of interests. I have a lot of, I guess I call it my lore from when I was a kid, like everybody else out there. Like we all have favorite comics, favorite movies, favorite all sorts of stuff. So I came up with what I'm calling my top 5. I was going to do some kind of clever intro video, and I still might. But tonight, to wrap this live stream up, we're going to do a top 5. So tonight, since it's October, which is one of my favorite times of the year, we're going to be doing top 5 horror movies. Top 5 horror movies from my childhood. Now, these all encompass, I had to sit and really think about this. So, horror movies played a massive, or I guess horror movies were a massive influence on me as a kid. Obviously, this wasn't a movie, but it was a miniseries, Salem's Lot, with David Soul. Scared the absolute shit out of me. I watched it as a kid. And The Exorcist as well, going to Catholic school and, being indoctrinated in that kind of ideology when I was a kid. Really, it still affects me to this day. Like demonology and demon movies absolutely have a role in my life and how I look at the world. But man, dude, yeah, I should do the Casey Kasem voice. Maybe I could find an AI program, Andy. That'd be pretty wild, wouldn't it? So I wanted to do the top 5 horror movies, and I had to really think about this. And I thought for a couple days, and I finally came up with the top 5 horror movies from my childhood. And number 5 is The Monster Squad. This was a 1987 film. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's basically the Goonies with monsters, in my opinion. This is a cult classic movie. I have 2 nephews. My closest nephew in age is 10 years younger than me. My sister's oldest son, Jake. This is his absolute favorite movie. It is one of my favorite movies as well. It is a perfect movie. It's perfectly done. The writing's amazing in it. The special effects are really good for the day. I think Stan Winston did all the creature design. The actor who plays Frankenstein was also the Hannibal Lecter character from the movie Manhunter with William Peterson, which is also one of my favorite movies, which is another one my dad took me to in the 80s, which I love that movie as well. It's the Hannibal Lecter story. It was kind of like I want to say it was the prequel to Oh my gosh. Uh, Silence of the Lambs, I think. Yeah. Yeah, the Manhunter is a great movie with William Peterson. William Peterson, you guys are familiar with him, CSI. He was also in To Live and Die in LA, which is an awesome movie with William Dafoe and him about cocaine and drugs, which is basically what every 80s movie is about. But Monster Squad is a fantastic movie. We watch it every year. My son thinks it's a cool movie. Um, Absolutely love it. It's my number 5 movie. It probably would be higher if there weren't so many cool movies in the 1980s that were horror movies. So Monster Squad is awesome. If you guys have not seen it and have kids, you should definitely check it out. It's a really, really fun movie, and you should definitely check it out. It's got a classic line in it, right? Fat kid, Lawrence. Wolfman's got nards right there. Stacey Armstrong coming in out of nowhere. Absolutely awesome. I like it. Me personally, I like it better than the Goonies because of the monster element to it. Hey James, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the show. You and Stacy jumped in. I appreciate you guys jumping on tonight. You're here for probably my favorite part of the whole live stream. So there you go. Number 4 for me is Silver Bullet. Now, Silver Bullet is a movie like when I was a kid, my dad and I would go to the movies, not every Friday night, but almost every Friday night. We saw a lot of shit. I mean, I watched a lot of movies in the 1980s. It had a giant impact on me and the person I am today. But Silver Bullet with Gary Busey and Corey Haim, I believe, was an amazing movie. It was based on the Stephen King short story, Cycle of the Werewolf. It's got some iconic actors in it as well. And the werewolf is dog shit in it. If you see the creature, the werewolf, looks like a fucking Muppet. But the movie itself is really, really good. And I love Silver Bullet to this day. I would like to see a brand new redoing of it. I know that HBO Max a few years ago redid Salem's Lot, and it was a really good mini. It was a really good movie, which is another Stephen King movie or a story. And I would love to see Silver Bullet redone. But this one here with Gary Busey is great. Absolutely love Silver Bullet. I love werewolf horror movies more than any other type of horror movie. So love Silver Bullet. Number 3 for me is my favorite werewolf movie of all time. And that's saying a lot because there are a lot of really good werewolf movies. The Wolfman with Benicio del Toro is a really good movie. Dog Soldiers, a really good werewolf movie. My gosh, I can't remember the one from the 90s or early 2000s. Was it Cursed? I can't remember. What's the other one with the girls? Ginger Snaps, another really good werewolf movie. But The Howling is, in my opinion, the best werewolf movie of all time. It's a 1981 American horror movie directed and edited by Joel Dante. You can see who it was written by. It follows a news anchor who following a traumatic encounter with a serial killer visits a resort secretly inhabited by werewolves. When I first watched The Howling, I was like, holy shit, this was a creepy ass movie. When the guy digs the bullet out of his head and says, let me give you a piece of my mind, one of the greatest horror movie scenes ever, in my opinion. Yeah, Ginger Snaps, James, is super awesome. Ginger Snaps is great. Don't get me wrong. There is a lot of really good werewolf movies. But I think The Howling kind of set the standard for all those werewolf movies to move forward. Now, if you've ever seen The Howling 2, The Howling 2 is basically like a Skinamax flick. It's nothing but boobs and fur. The Howling 2 is just out there. But the original Howling is a great movie. I definitely, yeah, Tim's right. American Werewolf in London is also like an iconic werewolf movie. It's really good too. Werewolf movie, Largo, the great and powerful Largo is here, live from his bar, Los Largos, I think, or Los. I can't remember the name of your bar, Jim. Throw it up here and let everybody know what the name of it is. Um, Ginger James says Ginger Snap sucks. I think it's okay, man. I mean, they are what they are. They're cool. They're you know they are what they are. But The Howling is actually was a creepy movie when I was a kid. Granted, these are all from when I was a kid, so um, The Howling was awesome. But yes, there are a lot of really good werewolf movies. Dog Soldiers could have made this list. Obviously, American Werewolf in London could have made this list um, for a lot of reasons. The special effects in a werewolf, American Werewolf in London. If I'm correct, the guy who directed American Werewolf in London also directed the Thriller video uh, for Michael Jackson, didn't he? Somebody out there check that out for me. Fact check me on that. I don't remember, but yeah, The Howling's awesome. I love The Howling. I'll watch it whenever it's on TV. I remember. I can't remember where I first saw The Howling. I didn't go to the movie theater and see it because a lot of those shows went kind of straight to video or in the early 80s. So I want to say that I saw it on Sammy Terry, but I can't confirm that. I can't confirm that. Number 2 for me all time is Fright Night. Now, some of you guys out there might think Fright Night sucks. I thought Fright Night was a freaking awesome movie. I did go to the movie theater to see Fright Night in 1985. It's an American supernatural horror film. It's almost like a horror comedy in a lot of ways. It follows the main character, Charlie. He has a vampire problem, and he gets renowned TV vampire hunter Peter Vincent, played by Roddy McDowall, to help him vanquish a vampire who has stolen his girlfriend. It is a great movie. The remake of it is really good too. The kid that was in the remake died. His Jeep, his Jeep was like in a parking garage, and the brake failed or something, and the Jeep ran him over or crushed him. But the remake of Fright Night is really, really good. Not as good as the original, but really, really good. I love Fright Night. I will watch it all the time as well. I know the kid who was his friend Evil, who gets turned into a vampire. I think they ended up killing him in the movie, or he escaped. But that kid ended up leaving. Again, this is going to be wild. I think that kid did a couple more horror movies and then got into the adult porn industry, but I could be wrong on that. Again, fact check me on that, but that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. Evil Ed, there you go. Evil Ed. Yep, great character, great scene. Now, yes, Andy, you're right. David Tennant is in the remake, and it is a really, really good movie. Sean Huckster is here tonight. Sean, I was giving you a shout out earlier about your Sydney Swift micro universe project you're working on, which is just mind blowing. So that's right. Roddy McDowall. Roddy McDowall is a classic actor. Planet of the Apes, as well as a lot of other sci-fi series. But Fright Night's my number 2 horror movie from when I was a child, from my childhood in the 1980s. Now, number 1, you may or may not know this movie. This is an obscure movie, but I will tell you there are 2 movies that I watched as a kid which scared the shit out of me to the point where I couldn't sleep for like probably weeks at a time. We're gonna get to that, Stacy. Yes, John Huckster could be the hardest working video YouTuber right now. He's just throwing out tons of different reviews of all these different sets. Dr. O'Donnell. Thank you, Largo. Thank you. So number 1, like I said, there's 2 movies that scared me so bad that I couldn't sleep for like about a week. One was The Exorcist, correct, Sean? And the other one, I would say Salem's Lot, Stacy, but uh, it wasn't a movie. It was a made for TV series, so I kind of leave it off. Um, Prince of Darkness was scary. You guys are. I don't know if anybody's even seen this movie, The Gate. This movie, this was like Steven Dorff from, I believe he was in Blade Vampire Hunter, also in, um, let's see, True Detective, season 3. This movie scared the crap out of me. It is an awesome movie. It's a 1987 supernatural horror film. Steven Dorff is his film debut. Follows two young boys who accidentally release a horde of demons from their backyard through a hole in the ground. This movie, I watched this movie twice ever. Both when I was a kid. I saw it in 1987. I got it at the video store. Watched it. I didn't watch it again for 2 years. Then saw it on HBO. Watched it again. Still scared the shit out of me in 89. And I was like 14 then, I think. It was a scary movie for me at the time. If you've never seen it, watch it. I watched it for the third time, I want to say 3 years ago with my wife. It was on Amazon Prime, and I said, "Oh my God, The Gate's on." We watched it, and I laughed because I'm like, I can't believe I was so scared of this movie. But I think again at the time, I was so scared of this movie just for the little demon figures that were in it. You know, again, like growing up as a Catholic school kid, and you know all that stuff surrounding that, and then also The Exorcist, and then like Andy says, there's a giant demon type serpent that comes out of the ground in the movie. There's Estes model rockets in the movie. There's so many different things. It's a really good movie. I love The Gate, but it scared the shit out of me. It's my number one horror movie from a kid because, you know, I only watched it twice as a kid because it was so scary. The Exorcist could have been number one, but I didn't watch The Exorcist until I watched The Exorcist at such a young age that I really only watched it once ever. I've only watched The Exorcist one time ever in my life. I've never watched it again. I still refuse to watch it. It's just, oh my gosh. But Phantasm is also badass. Yes, there's so many great movies, and these are from my childhood. And I think as I move forward with these top fives, what I probably will end up doing, yes, The Exorcist and Draws definitely traumatized these for a lot of people. Trolls, yes, James. Trolls was pretty brutal. I might end up putting on my YouTube and my Facebook, what are your top 5 movies? So when we get in here and start doing these top 5s moving forward, you know, you guys can throw your stuff here in the chat. But I've got more of these coming. I think I've got 6 or 7 presentations made for top 5s. So every time, yeah, Stacy, Halloween, obviously a great movie. The Rob Zombie remake is really, really good in my opinion. Ernie coming in from California, what's up, bro? Thanks for jumping on. Yeah, there's a lot of great horror movies, and this is the time of the year for great horror movies. And these are the 5 that I still think about, I guess. Like I still, when you're sitting there and you're having, you know, having a conversation with your buddies, and you're like, oh man, you remember seeing this as a kid? And you're like, yeah, during Halloween, and you're like, I remember this movie. And then you kind of just your mind starts drifting to the movies that really, really affected you. So, and I've got, like I said, I've got 6 or 7 more of these presentations I'm going to do throughout the course of the next several months with these top 5s. So I think it's great. It's going to be fun. It's a good interactive way for you guys to jump in the comments and really kind of be part of the live stream with me. So this is a really extensive and deep what's in the shop tonight. I mean, we've been going for almost 2 hours now. We shared a lot of stuff. For those of you guys who jumped on late, thank you very much. Definitely check out the live stream replay, because we've shared a lot of stuff on here tonight. There's a lot of cool things I think we've talked about. And shout out to all you guys who have participated in Golden Skull. I really appreciate it. I know some of you guys are working on your stuff right now, and I can't wait to see it. And like I said, this is my top 5 horror movies as a kid. Oh, we got something from Largo here. Oh, yeah. There's been a lot of controversy on that Operation Monster Force stuff, Largo. A lot of people have been bitching about a lot of people have been bitching about where their Monster Force figures are. Yes, Robert. Yep, the gate was very scary. You did, Kosh. You did a really good job for Paul Knapp's. His contribution to Golden Skull was great, and you did really cool with your 3D. Your 3D printing stuff's really cool, man. You're getting right in there with the rest of the trifecta of 3D printing masters. You're doing a good job, man. I hope to get to where you are someday with my stuff. Thanks, Sean. Thank you very much, sir. So anyways, back to what I was saying, this has been a really extensive live stream. It's been really fun. I wanted to get on here and kind of touch base with everybody, but the Golden Skull stuff's going to be great. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream, we're going to be doing, I'm going to try to jump on Paul's show early, or just pop in real quick next week and kind of show you guys the 3 things that I made for the, let's get this off here. The 3 things I made for the Golden Skull contests, and kind of tell you guys how it's all going to kind of go down. I think everybody's going to be happy with the way I've kind of figured it out, and I really appreciate it. And to let everybody know, I have started working on next year's anthology. I don't even know if I want to call it a contest. Just next year's Axis of Awesome anthology, to get everybody to jump in and do a storyline. I think everybody's really going to want to participate in next year's. I'm working on the trailer right now, so I've been using a combination of a lot of different stuff to kind of create it, to share it with you guys. So be on the lookout here in the next month or so. I make an announcement of what we're going to do for next year, and the trailer, like I did for this year's Golden Skull, will drop probably after the 1st of next year. Right now it's kind of what I'm thinking. I've learned a lot doing the Golden Skull stuff this year, kind of how it's going to go. So I'm going to revise it a little bit, and I think it's going to be a lot more streamlined and cool, and a lot better next year. So not that it hasn't been bad this year, but I think that's what we're going to kind of just change a few little things and tweak some stuff. But I've really been pleased with everybody's participation. I'm really happy for everybody who's jumped in and done it. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to really kind of just bring everybody together and have everybody feel like they're part of the Axis of Awesome group. And doing the Golden Skull kind of, I think, is a really good step in the right direction to involve everybody in something that kind of encompasses all of our interests and hobbies. So that's kind of why I did it. And yeah, these are going great, guys. I got a video dropping on Friday where Jerry Gonzalez, who's just a recent guest on Paul Knapp's show, helped me helped me and inspired me to do a recreation of a Collector Club figure that I don't have. And then after that, I've got some really cool videos coming. My plan was to do 2 more photo stories this year. I don't know if I'm going to get to it. We'll see. Just really depends on it really depends on these elves, because this is kind of an important project to me right now, to make this elf display for the town. So if I can get those wrapped up this month in October, that will free up time for me to put together a couple photo stories. One I would like to have by Thanksgiving, and the other one I would love to have by my New Year's Christmas video, but we'll see. And I've got another video planned too as well, but it doesn't matter whether I get to them or not. You guys will still watch them, and I'll still make them. So I really appreciate everybody who's jumped on here tonight. It's been really fun. It's been a great live stream. Again, like and subscribe to the page, guys. Hit that notification icon. I look forward to doing these. Check me out on Paul's channel this Monday. I'm going to jump on there and show the things I made for the Golden Skull contest. I will be doing some more videos. I have Paul coming on October 23rd for a Who's in the Shop, which is going to be really fun because I think we're going to try to find out a lot about Paul that we didn't know. And I've got some other guests I'm working on lining up, and I've got some other really cool things that I've got in the works right now. Yeah, you are, Sean. Sean's slamming. Yeah, you are a busy man, dude. You're doing God's work, man. We didn't have like everybody make sure and buy Sean's stuff from Cotswold before it sells out, because Sean does a lot of really cool stuff, and I thankfully have a lot of Sean's stuff, and it definitely plays a significant role in a lot of my photo stories. So when I buy something of Sean's from Cotswold, it definitely inspires a photo story down the pike. So same thing with Randall from Art Lab, and a lot of these other guys who produce stuff. So we're super lucky right now in our hobby to have all the creative people, not just the people who are making stuff for like Cotswold, but just the people who are on Facebook and YouTube doing and being creative. That's really important. It's really good. It keeps your mind off of the craziness of the world. And yeah, Sean has a job. Yeah. Yeah, don't we all have jobs, man? Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, man. This has been fun, guys. I really appreciate you guys jumping into the live stream tonight. This is really fun. I hope you guys have a great week. And I'll see you guys hopefully on Monday. So with that being said, keep living the adventure, guys, and